Hey guys, welcome to My Ex Appeal, your everything divorce podcast. My name is Joey Camaro and I'm here with
Mandy Baker.
And we are the friends that you didn't know you needed.
We're back.
We're back. Hey, we have Junie Moon. We're excited.
It's going to be fun. It's going to learn. I mean, we talk about all the time about women having self-confidence and things like that. And she's going to come in and talk to us about midlife love out loud, which is going to help us find that self-love. I'm hoping that it helps us find that self-love, because going through a divorce can be pretty stressful and you start to question things. And the worst thing you want to do is question yourself.
Mandy, are we midlife? Are we past midlife?
We don't.
I'm confused. And wait.
Yeah, we're midlife. We're cassette tape old. We're like mixtape old.
What is considered midlife? Like because
you don't know when
50.
you're going to die.
Yeah. And so I'm almost 50.
Me too.
And so am I assuming that I'm going to live to 100?
I don't live to 100.
Really?
God, yes.
You don't want to live to 100?
No.
Oh, no.
No, I don't want to live to it. Brendan and I talk about it all the time. I'm like, I'm dying before you. He's like, you better not die before me.
What? No.
We do. We're weird.
No, I'm going to live forever.
I hope you do.
Thank you.
Joey and Mandy, everything divorce related. We can put the S back in your ex appeal. Joey and Mandy, the friends you didn't know you needed on My Ex Appeal, and everything divorce podcast.
Sounds like we're going to have some fun here.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We do have fun. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Oh my God. Where do you ladies live?
I'm in Texas.
And I'm in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts, and I'm in Jersey.
Yeah.
A little all over the place here.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. We're pretty close though. Jersey. What part of Jersey?
Oh, I heard the Massachusetts there. I'm just outside of New York City.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Northern
yeah.
New Jersey. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I used to do part of my territory because Mandy and I used to work for the same company. Part of my territory was Manhattan and some parts of New Jersey too.
What were you doing?
We used to train people to become fitness instructors, group fitness.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And where in Massachusetts are you?
I'm 20 minutes north of Boston. And
okay, nice.
Yeah.
And congratulations on your podcast. I was looking at it. I already a short little review and stuff. So I just wanted to ignite guys.
Thank you.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you for coming here too.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So welcome to the show, Junie Moon. She is the CEO of Midlife Love Out Loud. She is a global speaker and author, and we are so excited. I want to hear a little bit more about you from your own words, because I think that's the best way for people to introduce themselves. I'm just excited to learn how to stop self-sabotaging, honestly.
That's like a good thing, right? To learn how to do that, because how else can we have great lives if we continually get in our own way? Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, well, where do I begin? Well, let me start by saying I'm 60. I turned 60 this year. And
happy birthday.
Thank you so much. And I love my life. I wake up happy most of the time. I'm certainly not perfect. Still working my stuff. However, I've experienced what I call next level love, where I can just be myself, love myself, not jump through people's hoops and be able to really get my needs met. But that wasn't always the case. As we all know, we've had lots of different experiences in our life. And mine, the big one I share, is I was in a 20-year marriage, walking on eggshells, afraid to speak up, rock the boat. He was a spicy, kind of bullyish kind of guy. But I brought my chips to the party with low self-esteem and my fears and doubts. So I micromanaged everything until I woke up one day, 200 pounds and miserable 20 years ago. And I just was like, okay, I have a food problem, but it really wasn't a food problem. It was really a fear problem. And so I found shadow work, which is the main body of work that changed my life, helped me maintain a 50-pound weight loss for 20 years, give or take a few pounds on a rainy day. And because I shifted my life, I let go of my marriage. It was not able to continue on after I woke up and got my voice back. We're still friends. We've definitely moved through different iterations of our relationship. However, I chose me and I chose a different path. And because I was able to find my truth, find myself, find my voice, and have an extraordinary second half of life, second act, I knew I really was onto something, and I really wanted to bring my work out into the world, which is what I do. So I specifically help single women in the second half of life have extraordinary second acts, whether they have a partner or not, because we never know when that partner's coming or staying. Relationships come and go, but that's a snippet of my story.
I love that.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
pretty
that must have
cool.
been a lot of muck to go through to get to that point, but holy cow.
Yeah, the muck, the knots in my stomach, the long nights of what am I doing with my life? And that's the thing. It's like when we're in the muck and we don't I didn't do that I didn't do this journey on my own. I had amazing teachers and mentors and trauma therapists, but it wasn't until shadow work that really helped me see all the baggage I picked up, all the beliefs I picked up that kept me in the muck, kept me self-sabotaging. We've all been there. And that's why we do these podcasts, to help people realize they don't have to stay in the muck, and that lotus flowers blossom from the muck. So let's remember that.
So tell me, what is next level love?
Yeah.
What is it specifically?
Yeah. I even mentioned before how I'm feeling better because I have this next level experience, and it goes so much more deeply than just I love my life and I could get my needs met. It's something I experienced fresh out of my marriage. I went into another relationship. People say, don't go into another relationship right away. There's pros and cons. Well, the pro for me was I found an amazing man that I experienced next level love with from him and for myself. And so what I see it as, it's something that came out of my mouth in the last handful of years. I'm like, it was next level love, where with him, I was able to be met without and just be loved for who I was. I just was able to relax. My whole nervous system was able to just be myself and love it, and to be honored and cherished for just who I was.
Love that.
And to be able to have that experience, as you guys probably hear all the time and know and share, that we need to have that next level love for ourselves. And so I learned how to be my own soulmate, to be able to really have my own back, and to not have that judger, that huge, loud inner critic telling me I should be a different way than I am, or jumping through other people's hoops so that I can fit in or not be left. And so next level love to me is the ability to really just be, shadow and light, and enjoy your life to the umpteenth degree. So that's how I see it. Just unapologetically be yourself.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about the shadow work.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about the shadow work and how you got there, because you say in shadow and in light. And
Yeah.
I feel like when I went through my divorce, I feel like that's where I lived, was completely, and my definition of shadow probably is different than what you're about to share.
Yeah.
But I felt like I lived in the dark all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. There's so many different definitions. And I'm trained in the original trademark body of work called shadow work. So there's a lot of people that say shadow work, and it can be very different. However, the concept of shadow that we all in general speak to is a Jungian term about the part of us that we hold shame around or we hide. It's like, there's a part of us that we think is icky and dark and ugly, or some of the language we might be thinking is, I better not let him in. I better not let him see or her see who I really am. So the shadow kind of gets birthed at a very young age, when we're sponges, and how to fit in, how to be loved, how to be taken care of when we're so vulnerable. and we take on these beliefs about like boys, men, little boys are, suck it up, be a man, don't show vulnerability, you're weak. Or little girls, be a good little girl, don't be a bitch, like don't be too much, so we get all these messages from our culture and our religion and our families. And so we start on sometimes conscious level, but most of the time unconscious level, deciding I better not show that part. And we take that part, that energy of an essence of a quality like anger or laziness or arrogance, or even things that you think are special, like our light, like our playfulness. We take these aspects if we've been harmed or we got a message in some way, and we go, okay, I'm going to throw it away, throw it in shadow. I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to forget it's there, but it's a part of us. And so when I say embracing shadow and light, it's about being all of who we are. That's why I titled my book, Loving the Whole Package, because it's about loving all the aspects, because we're not perfect. And can we totally love those parts that are like, well, yep, that I could be like that. Oops, and just love ourselves without throwing ourselves under the bus. And then shadow work is helping us bring those parts to light. And what I mean by that is not changing necessarily it into the light. It's about acknowledging that we've lost access to these parts. And once we can see, oh, wow, I really have disconnected from these qualities that are part of me, we get to take back the energy and use it in a healthy way or in a dark way if we choose to, but we get back our choice.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so Junie, because basically what you said about kind of growing up, obviously most of our listeners are female. And so growing up, they probably were taught, like you said, don't be a bitch, don't be outspoken, be pretty, whatever it is that you're taught to be, right? The pretty little girl. And so then when you grow up and you see that that's kind of, it's not the best thing for you, right? And now you're hiding things and you're, like you said, you're kind of retreating. But there's a lot going on in your head now, right? And so now you're self-sabotaging yourself all the time.
Yeah.
And so do you see that a lot working with clients, that they're self-sabotaging, and how do they get through that? Because that's what we have a lot of people.
100%. 100%. So look, we've all had our hearts crushed in some way, and there's a part inside of us in this body of work, we call it the risk manager. There's a part that's on high alert. I don't want you to get hurt again. I'm going to be watching out for those scenarios again. Oh, he looks like the guy that abused you. Oh, he looks like the guy that left you. Oh, he looks like your mother. There's this part that's always assessing for danger so that we don't get hurt. And one of the greatest strategies to keep us from getting hurt is sabotaging ourselves. That part's going to tell us, oh, who's going to want you? You're too old now. You don't have any value. Your boobs are down to your waist. Who's going to want to like you? So that part creates a dynamic inside of us of fear and gives us strategies to avoid the risk. And so we sabotage by overeating or over Netflixing or going out with the same friggin' person over and over because we haven't even learned our lesson. And that's another whole topic for another whole day. However, there's a part of us that's really trying to protect us from pain. And that's where the self-sabotage comes in. So I really, for anybody that is kind of going, oh my God, that's me. And oh my God, I'm so hard on myself. And I get in my own way and I block myself and I'm stuck. That's truly the part of you that's loving you so much, trying to protect you from getting hurt. But we need to update that part. We need to get that part to see that you're older and wiser. And if you need support, to get support so you don't fall down the rabbit hole, because that risk manager thinks you're going to screw it up again. It doesn't want to take any chances. And we need to get that part to know you're safe, or at least safer to take some chances in a different way.
So how do we do that? How do we break those painful cycles of getting out of a relationship where you were vulnerable in your first marriage and you did show them absolutely who you were, and it broke you?
Yeah.
So how do you stop that?
Well, there's a couple of things there. So before I say how to stop that, I think some of the biggest challenges we have as men and women, as people that are dating, people in relationships, is that we're not really showing fully who we are. We're hiding ourselves. We're meeting people and putting up these masks because we're afraid if they really see us, they're not going to like us. And, even profiles, people put up their best pictures. Well, I have a picture on my profile. I'm single right now, consciously single. And I have a picture that shows my belly. Oh my God, somebody's going to see that I have a belly. I mean, I lost weight. I'm not a tiny little person. I'm curvy. So that's my true self. I don't want somebody to be shocked when they see me. So the first thing is that let's really love ourselves so much that we don't hide our truth. Now, there's times and places to reveal certain things. We don't want to just spill it all out on the first date or, the first month of a relationship. However, are we being truthful? Are we being revealing? Because if we're not, it's going to bite us in the ass. So that's where relationships really suffer, from the one with yourself to everybody else. Because if we're not being true to ourselves, it's painful. It was so painful for me to not express myself for most of my life. So what was the other question?
I don't remember.
How to stop self-sabotage?
Stop it. Stop
How
it.
do we do this? What is shadow work? How do we do this?
I'm just listening.
All right.
I'm just like, yeah.
How do we break the pattern?
Right. We're talking like we have it. We have all these issues. Now what, right? Well, first is to just acknowledge, to be really gentle with ourselves and acknowledge that maybe, some stuff has gone down and we've been hurt. We picked up some belief systems, or maybe a lot, that are still impacting us. And neuroscience shows 95% of our brain is unconscious. That's where all of our programming is. So if we say we want a healthy partnership, if we say, I want to stop self-sabotaging, I want to love myself, and all we do is look in the mirror, go, I love myself, or journal. Yes, these are all things that can be helpful, but they're not getting into that 95% operating system that is storing all this information that's going, yeah, you're not really that great. So what do we do about that? So the first thing is to be aware that you might be misaligned. You may not be really in touch with what's going on in the background. What are you believing about yourself? And you might say, well, I know myself. I really do. And I promise you, and I promise everybody, and I'm gonna put a stake in the ground for this. We don't know ourselves. No matter how much work I do, there's layers and layers, and go, oh, wow. I just discovered something new. I didn't see that was, we pull out dandelions, and we think we got it to the root, and suddenly another dandelion shows up. So can we have some compassion for ourselves, that we have some roots, we have some programming that we've picked up, and this is where we're at. So we need to start there. We need to start with something's not working, and I don't like how things are, and to get really honest with ourselves. Now, with shadow work, if we're talking about unconscious beliefs, if we're talking about something you said, I'm never going to be like, and you throw it away and you go, I'm not going to look at that, I'm not going to listen to it, then how do we know it's there? Well, trust me, we all have shadows. We all have these beliefs. We have this going on. And so sometimes you can shine a light on it yourself up to a point where you can do some journaling, and you can do some prompts and do some exercises. Think about, and everybody can do this right now, think about qualities or characteristics you see in other people that drive you nuts, that get you triggered. Anything that really gets under your skin is a clue a clue that there's something unhealed inside of you. So if you are going, oh my God, I hate people that are so full of themselves. Oh my God, she's so bright and shiny. Gosh, I wish she would just tone it down. Well, maybe she is overshining. Maybe she's got a shadow around shining and is overshooting. However, if it's under your skin, if it's bothering you and you're triggered, there's a good chance that you have thrown away your light in shadow. You're judging light. So maybe you somewhere along the way went, well, maybe I better not be so big or be so bright. I better dim down my light. So that's how you could start on your own. With that said, I wouldn't have gotten to this place if I didn't do my own shadow work with amazing mentors, with shadow workers that helped me find my confidence, find my clarity, find my boundaries by going into the operating system and cleaning it up, by looking at some of these beliefs one by one, consciously, carefully, not like right off the cliff, but in a way that felt safe to be able to go, okay, wait a second, that no longer serves me. And I'm going to stand my ground and say, excuse me, but I don't like to be talked to that way anymore. And we do that in a container, a safe container with like myself and a client or in a group where people can really try new things on and feel in their body what it's like to feel empowered and strong and clear. So that's kind of how we do it. Start with acknowledging that something's not right, loving yourself up to realize you were handed a lot of these beliefs. You took these on as a way to stay safe. They got you here. Let's honor that all of these things, all these strategies, even if they've harmed you in some way, literally got you to this place. You're alive. Now, how do you want to be in your second act? And that's the place where things really get exciting.
That's amazing. And I love that I loved when you said you'll be working on something and kind of pops up again, but give yourself grace because the dandelion it's rooted.
Yeah.
So it's not so easy. You don't snap your fingers and become different one day.
Right.
So you have to work at it.
Yeah.
I love that. So just one more question, because I took notes, Junie. Okay.
And I
There's
will say
no quiz. There's no quiz after, but that's good. What were you saying, Mandy?
Normally she doesn't.
I definitely.
But this was good, Junie. This was good.
good.
So and what I love about this is this is work that can be done anytime. So it's not like some people try to work on themselves after they get the divorce. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, now's the time to work on this, but they could be working on it, going through all, like we said, the muck. Work on it then.
Oh my
Get
God,
right into it.
Divorce is so challenging. Don't you want to be clear and empowered and grounded and strong and be able to go, yeah, that's not how I want it to be, versus all the drama. It's like these are tools for life. And this is work that's not temporary. This is transformation that sticks. I mean, I did therapy for years. I learned so much about myself, but that's neck up. Shadow work helps us embody and own all of who we are. And we need to bring it out of, need to bring it out of shadow. We need to be able to see what's really happening. So then we can have that moment of something happened, take a breath, decide how we want to be. Or do we need to step away or need to have a conversation in an aligned adult way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. From the neck up with the whole body.
Yes, the whole body.
Not just the neck up.
I hope it's okay.
That's not enough.
I hope it's okay to share that I have this quiz, and I'm happy to give it to you. I'll link that is helpful to identify your avatar, to actually see where you are once to being relationship ready. And it identifies your superpower, because we all have a superpower. And it also shows what might be in shadow and what are some of the places that might be challenging you. And I give a full report to help people move toward it step by step, because again, we're not meant to do this journey alone. I didn't do it alone. And shadow is a big deal. And it's just going to keep running all of us until we realize it's there.
I love that, because that was going to be one of my last questions was, where do you begin? I don't know if that was going to be one of yours, Joey.
Yeah, I would love to. We need this quiz.
Yeah, I'll definitely get you the quiz. Again, I just say to, start the really, like, everybody, after this, get a piece of notebook paper, or, grab your phone and voice dictate, whatever, all the technology. I kind of like writing. I think there's still something very powerful about writing. And I would just say, it's the classic thing that we hear coaches say all the time, which is dream big. Like, if you could have your bold, amazing, beautiful second act, what would it look like? What are the components? And then just stream of consciousness, like, what's getting in the way? What's sabotaging you? What are your thoughts? What do you tell yourself? How are you treating yourself? Just doing that is a great first step to go, yeah, I am not being kind to myself, or I'm a little confused. And here's another one. Here's another one that happens often with people that come to me, which is, I have a great life. I'm an empowered woman. I've got my act together. I don't think I want a partner. And even ask yourself, and if you could have a partner that wouldn't blow up your life, because see, that risk manager might be in the background going, your life is pretty good. Do you really want to have somebody that's going to be, you have, what is it, a nurse? Wants you to be a nurse or a purse. I heard that recently. And, right. And so if the risk manager is like, oh my God, don't blow up your life. You have you're independent and you love your life. It's going to have you stop and keep you stuck and thinking, I don't need, but we don't need, but do we desire? And we do have needs, but do you desire? So that's a great exercise just to just get it out. Just get it out of your head. We tend to not take time to really hear what's going on inside of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that.
I love it too. So what is the best way, Junie, for someone to find you right now? What's the best way to do that?
Yeah. So my handle, my website, everything across the board is Midlife Love Out Loud, because I really am into like being bold and living out loud. So midlifeloveoutloud.com. That's my Instagram. That's my YouTube channel. The YouTube channel has a ton of resources. And if you just go to my website, that is also where the quiz is, as well as all of, a lot of content and articles. Just make a move. Make a move. And if there's one move, do the journaling. Just do the journaling. Just get clear about where you're at and what's not working for you. And then take the quiz and see what's really showing up for you so that you can co-create a magical life.
Well, Junie, thank you so much for joining us. And my Ex Appeal listeners, we are at the end of our podcast. That means you made it to the end of the podcast, and we appreciate you. Make sure you check us out on My Ex Appeal on YouTube and My Ex Appeal on Instagram. And we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thanks to our listeners, sponsors, and our lawyers on My Ex Appeal and everything divorce